But athletes, this is my thing with athletes. And I got to be careful about how I say this because it's going to come off, I don't know how it'll come off. When it comes to athletes and mental health, I think the biggest thing to consider here is that athletes don't have minds. Do you see what I mean? That is not why we know who they are. Why are we telling them to be self-actualized human beings? Their body is their temple, and their mind only works as the operating system of their body. Their mind should not be this, flourishing and important part of what they do. Their mind should be simply like giving orders to their body. So when we have somebody like Simone Biles having these problems, we have to really look at, are we telling athletes to think too much? Are we telling them to be too involved in their own? You're not supposed to think too much about what you're doing because it's stupid. It's dumb. You balance on a bar. It's dumb. If you think too much about it, you will lose your mind and go insane. You're getting millions and millions of dollars to do something that's essentially silly. It's silly. You're doing a tumbasault. It's not something that you should spend an inordinate amount of time thinking about. Truly, whether you're throwing a basketball into a hoop or throwing a ball down a field, all of it is silly. It's important. We need it. It distracts people from the pandemic and the wars and the economy and the no health care and the no jobs and their kids on heroin and the towns falling apart and violence is in the street. It distracts them. You need that. But I think the people that are great athletes, I'm sure some of them have been reasonably intelligent, but the vast majority of people that get really good at sports do so because their minds are not the thing that drives them in life. And nor should they be. Now, there are certain sports where obviously it is important. But again, like golf, people can say, oh, golf, you got to have a strong mind to compete in golf. Yes, but they're idiots. If you get any of the guys on the PGA Tour and talk to them, they're not smart. Yeah. None of them are intelligent. They're not. How can you be intelligent? You have to devote so much of your life to swinging a club and hitting a ball in a hole. You can't be smart. You literally cannot. They're not smart people. None of them. When you see an athlete that's like can string a sentence together, you're floored because you don't expect that, nor should you. They get their enjoyment out of life from competition, competing, and they need to have mental toughness. I'm not saying this woman should be castigated, but I'm also not saying she should be celebrated for her issues and her problems. Mental toughness is part of athletics and has been for a long time. And the reason that the greatest players have been able to be mentally tough is because a lot of them are stupid. That's the point. They don't think that much. Mental illness is very common with people that have a lot of thoughts. If you can quiet your mind, quiet it down so that you can really become a machine, that's how you get to be a great athlete. That's what people are going to be offended at this. Oh, you're fat. You don't know what athletics is. Oh, you're an idiot. Hey, they're retarded. But they're great. That's the point. The point is that they're stupid people who are able to do an amazing thing physically, and we pay them lots of money. If they weren't able to do that, what would they be doing? Can I ask you that? If athletes were not able to do athletic things, what would they be doing? CEO? Would they be running a hospital? No, they wouldn't be. They're doing this because they're driven by the need to compete, and they're in great shape, and they have mental toughness. They have to be tough. Mental toughness is stupidity becomes a virtue in athletics. And I don't mean you can't be savvy and you can't be, funny. But I'm talking about real intelligence here. These people don't have it, nor should they. The vast majority of them.
Agreed.
Not all of them. There's some of them that are very smart, but the vast majority of them. So I don't care what this woman does or not. The gymnastics, to me, shouldn't even be legal. It's a sport of pedophiles where they stunt a girl's growth and they keep them like little dolls. It's insane. I mean, this poor woman went through all kinds of horror. The guy just molested thousands of them.
Larry Nassar?
And it's so rampant that no one cared because it's in gymnastics, it's assumed that it's a sport for pedophiles. Like when those girls came home and said, I was molested, their parents were like, yeah, don't you want to be a gymnast? I thought you wanted to be a gymnast. That's what it is. You get molested and, you don't eat and you don't grow and you stay like you look like a little doll. You ever see these people? It's disgusting. It's disgusting when you look at them. They're tiny. They're literally this big. They're tiny little people. And it's not healthy at all. It's not healthy. Well, these are children now. But gymnasts, it stunts their growth. I don't know why. Somebody that's smarter than me can explain that. But it does. And that's why pedophiles like to coach gymnastics, because nobody ever grows up. This is a fact. Okay? There are some arguments that link high-intensity gymnastics training during puberty with delayed growth. The theory is that young people undertaking such high levels of gymnastics training are likely to develop overuse injuries and are at risk of causing stress to growing bones and growth plates. We all know the gymnasts. They're all tiny. So I am deeply sympathetic to whatever this girl has gone through and is going through. And also men that are doing gymnastics are just men that don't have the guts to come out of the closet. There's not one heterosexual male in gymnastics. It's just a fact. Everyone doing gymnastics is gay. The women don't have a sexuality because they're just forever children. Have you ever seen I'm going to get in so much trouble, but have you ever seen after they win, their teams like hugging them, but it's very childlike and they have like teddy bears and stuff? It's freak shit. It's legit freak shit. If you think I'm wrong, go watch some of the old Olympics where they win. They're like 19, but they're like children and like the coach is carrying them around and they have a teddy bear. It's freak shit. It's fucked up. It's not right. It's not right. It should be banned. They should replace it with some type of twerking or freestyle dance. It's not good. And, I just am saying that. And male gymnasts are gay. They're gay men who are unable to tell the world that they suck cock and they like to have penises in their ass, or they like to put a penis in another man's ass. So instead of that, they do like the parallel bar. What are these events even called? I know what they are.
The bars.
The bars.
Let me see. Hold on.
I mean the rings.
Nothing.
They're strong, these men, but they imagine fucking them. When male gymnasts look at each other, they want to fuck each other to death. When a male gymnast sees another male gymnast, they want to fuck each other to death. They want to rip the skin off each other. I mean, this is what it is. They want to land on a cock. Like they want to do the final jump where they stick the landing. They want to stick the landing right on another guy's cock. They're gay, and that's great. I mean, they're hot. They're good-looking men. But they're gay. And Simone Biles people are upset at her because she dropped out of the team comp, which, again, who gives a fuck? This woman should not even know what her mind is doing. Truly. She shouldn't. Her success is built on her ability. She is the greatest gymnast of all time. There's no one better than her. But in order to keep that going, but she's probably getting older and she's starting to realize that it doesn't matter. See, this is what I'm getting to. But I just shut my emotions off. Otherwise, I go with the gun and I kill everyone. Because that's what she's getting. Her mental health is starting to deteriorate because she's realizing that it's all for nothing. It's bullshit. Who cares? Yes, you became the GOAT. Yes, you became the best. But the happiest people in this country are disgusting fat sloths who've never held themselves to any standard. That's truly the meaning of life, to be little more than bacteria, which is what the majority of people are. They're just bacterial organisms just existing, right? They're mold, essentially. And this woman has tried to be great her entire life. Flips and splits and dips and twists and fucking all the time. And her fucking coach is touching her. And she's got to be like, fuck you. And she's got to deal with her family and her envious friends and all the scumbags. And she's got to get great and better and better and better and beat this bitch and this white bitch and the Russians. Got to beat the fucking Russians, even though we didn't do it this time. But you know, those fucking dykes come over here, those Russians, they're not fucking around, right? I mean, those people are literally tortured. It's state policy to torture gymnasts, Abu Ghraib style, until they're fucking great. And this bitch has got to get through all of that to become the GOAT. And then you realize it doesn't fucking matter. You're not happier. You're not better off. That's when it starts to unravel. You start to go, fuck. What the fuck? That's when you got to shut it off. Shut it off. You got to do it, Simone. And that's my issue. But, you know, there's bad actors out there that are going to exploit this mental health shit and use it as a reason to usher in mediocrity. That bitch, Naomi Osaka,
yes,
who didn't want to do the interviews. Shut the fuck up. Do the fucking interviews, you dumb bitch. Do you know how much money you're making to play fucking tennis? Tennis is stupid. It's a stupid sport for racist white people, okay? And somehow you figured out a way to dominate that sport. More power to you. But shut the fuck up. You don't want to do interviews? I don't want to do a lot of shit, but I fucking do it. Enough. Stop babying these stupid fucking idiots. Truly. Enough. Kick her out. Give a fuck. Let her do something else. Go be a doctor if you don't want to do it. Like, it's just, I'm sick of hearing this shit. You're supposed to enjoy the interviews because you're supposed to sit there and forget the last one. And you forget because you're an idiot. You're dumb. The reason that you fucking do well is you're dumb. It's not hard. It is, but it's not. You're a retard. Stop trying to be intelligent. What are you going to put on a lab coat and do gene sequencing? You hit a ball over a net and you're the best at it because you're stupid. Because you don't question why you do it. Because your body is your temple. Your mind, the body just wants to compete. Give it that endorphin rush. Stop trying to think. You're going to ruin your life. I've had enough with the mental health. My mother is a legit mental patient. She's in a fucking mental institution. She's fucking crazy, okay? And do you know what genuinely mentally ill people think? They think they should be in the Olympics.